Hi there, it's Andrew Hobler here. Welcome to Music Reading Session 1, Module 1. In a lot of these modules, I've given you MP3 files to play along with. That makes the music a whole lot more interesting. In our initial sessions, what we're going to be doing though is just learning the basic layout of the guitar and how some of the notes are written down as well. We're starting from a very easy base, so I'm assuming you don't know very much at all about music, and we'll work from there. So we need to know two things to start off with so that we don't get confused with the notes. The two things we need to know are the names of the open strings on the guitar and a thing called the chromatic scale. Now what I find is that students sometimes have a bit of a fuzzy idea on both of these things. They're not always sure of the names of the notes and they're not always sure how the chromatic scale works, which of course just makes us confused. So we don't want that happening, so I'm starting you from the very basics of how the guitar fingerboard lays out. 1.1.1 introduces the names of the open strings. So let's look at those first. As you know, there are 6 strings on the guitar. You might want to count them if you're not sure, but there should be 6. And if I start on the lowest string, you can hear there it has a deep sound. That's low E on the 6th string. It's the thickest string, it's the one with the deepest sound. The next one is A. Then I have a D, a G, a B, and an E. E, A, D, G, B, E. I explained this to one of my students a few years ago and he came back the following week and said, "Eddie ate dynamite. Goodbye, Eddie." And I thought that was pretty cool. So that's what I'm going to use. Eddie ate dynamite. Goodbye, Eddie. And that's a really easy way to remember the names of the strings, provided we start it on the 6th string and not the 1st string. So we want to start on the low one. As we work our way through. Now you would have noticed there that there are 2 E's. The low one there and a high one over here. These 2 notes are written quite differently in music, and so what I sometimes find is that students will say to me, how do I know which E to play? How do I know whether I play the high one or the low one? Let's look at 1.1.2, octaves. Look closely at the diagram there in example 2 and you'll see that there's a high E note. It's written on the very top space of our music staff. We'll talk about those things a bit more later on. But it's in a different position to the one on the following page, which is on the 6th string. It's way below the staff, so it's actually quite a low note, and you can see the way it's written there in example 3. It's written down very low. When you compare the position of these 2 notes, there's no way that you can get them mixed up.